Hi, this is Neil at the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. This is the fashion show. Yes, this is the January edition 2016, and you've got Neil O'Connor from China Sourcing Academy. What is very interesting about this fashion show is learning firsthand from the suppliers, the factories, like all the different segments of the fashion supply chain, not just the garment manufacturers, but what about the textile mills, and what about the cotton suppliers, what about the fabric suppliers. And so there's all these different tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 suppliers being shown here, and we have big questions, because what is very big for 2016 going forward is that increasingly there is a huge NGO pressure on the whole fashion supply chain, and ultimately that risk or compliance risk is in the management of tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 suppliers, the textile suppliers, the fabric suppliers, the cotton suppliers, if they're not doing synthetics, of course. So these are some of the challenges when I talk to the major brand names. We're talking about the big sport brand names. So compliance risk is very, very big. What are other things are we learning when we go from supplier to supplier? Well, it's very, very interesting that, and I've got lots of suppliers that we've been through today. We went to several zipper firms, and zippers is very interesting because the big name in the zipper business is the YKK. You know the YKK, and the friend of the YKK is the customers, because the customers tell the factory, you must have YKK in our product or we will not get you to manufacture our product. Well, there's a few China competitors that are getting into the same business model. SAB is one of them, SAB, and they are working, trying to get customers to know their brand better, so the customers will tell factory the same thing, put SAB into our product. Otherwise, what they did say was that it becomes a real cutthroat cost management game with the factory if they cannot get the customer to force the factory to use their zipper. So very, very interesting. Of course, customers have a choice whether to put the logo of SAB into the zipper. What normally happens is over 1, 2, 3 or 4 years, customers will say, no, we don't want the logo SAB, but once they get to know the quality of the SAB design, then they can convince the customer to put the logo in the zipper. Okay, what else did we learn? Oh, we went to another supplier that provided waterproof fabric. And what was really interesting is that NGOs are now lobbying a lot of these fashion houses, sports products goods that make waterproof clothing. They're lobbying them to say not to have a special chemical treatment that you put on the garment to make it waterproof, because now that is hazardous. And in Norway, this chemical, this special chemical that's used for waterproofing, is now banned. And it's interesting that that's a trend that may be happening in many other countries in the coming years, in the years to come. So what was really interesting, we went to one supplier where they had waterproof products, and it wasn't a waterproof by putting a chemical on the garment to make it waterproof. They actually had a special undergarment that was waterproof. It looked like a cowhide, but very, very thin, but it was a synthetic material. And then they put it behind the fabric, and that became perfectly waterproof. Like, it wasn't just waterproof in terms of droplets, but it was waterproof under pressure. You could actually put that under a broken bottle and actually hold the water in the bottle. So that's how strong this waterproofing was. So that was welding two garments together using a gluing process. So that was featured here by one supplier. So lots of very interesting things that you learn at the fashion trade show. This is Neil, part 1 of some of the things that I have learned. Thank you for watching. Neil from China Sourcing Academy. Catch you in the next session. Thank you.